First, I want to thank all the family and friends, some of whom have come a long ways to be here tonight. Thank you very much for coming. It was a beautiful ceremony. It was, everything was perfect. Weren't the bridesmaids beautiful? A little prejudice. Tommy, you guys look perfect. I don't know how to follow up the video. Maybe I ought to say a couple of words about Nikki and how she got to this night. Nikki was born in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and when she was 3 months old, she got pneumonia, and she was very sick, and her mom and I were very afraid we were going to lose her. But the miracles of medicine and a lot of praying, and she pulled through. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but when I watched you play soccer, now I can remember you being that player. 3 months old. It's just amazing that it turned out the way it did. As she said, she went to high school in Germantown and decided to go to college, and was trying to make her decision on where she wanted to go to school. She called me up one week and said that she thought she'd go to Miami University, and they were having a meeting in Columbus. She wanted me to take her to this meeting at Miami University. So we went to the meeting, we found the building, went into the meeting, sat down. It was Miami University in Florida instead of Miami, Ohio. She looked at me for a moment and said, "What about Miami University in Florida?" No. She decided to go to Bowling Green. And that's how she ended up in Bowling Green. Everyone of her friends from school knows that Nikki's always had a unique fashion sense. And I think there's going to be some more discussion about her fashion sense later. But the one thing we weren't surprised was when Nikki told us that she was going to go into fashion design. And that was no surprise at all. But in order to pursue her vocation, she had to go to New York City. And lucky for us, Susan and I lived in Baltimore, and we were able to spend the year that Nikki was in New York City. We were able to spend a lot of time with her in New York, and she traveled by train on to see us. And I think she felt like it was nice having some family close to her, but what she didn't know was what a blessing it was to have her close to us, because we had moved away from home too, and we were homesick, and she helped us as much as I think we helped her. I wanted to say a few words about the relationship of these two, but I have a whole different story of this than what I saw here. Nikki called me and said she met this boy who was a football player. Of course, I didn't like him already. There's no way he was going to be good enough for you. But there was something in her voice. There was something that was strange. It was different from the other boys that she had dated or talked about. And although I chose to ignore it at the time, I think I did. But, you know, I assumed that this too would pass. Nicole moved to New York City. She spent a year and then went back to Bowling Green. Lo and behold, there was Tommy. And they picked up right where they left off. And I thought, well, this guy's persistent. But I didn't know how persistent. it wasn't until Nikki got the job here in Las Vegas and shortly thereafter that Tommy moved out here that I knew. And it took a lot of courage for Tommy to pick up and move away from his family and his friends and come out here. And it's hard for a dad to give up his daughter, but I know that this man loves you very much, and I feel very good about, I don't want to embarrass you, Tommy, but I'm very happy for both of you. So I'd like to make a toast to the Tommy and Nicole Smith. May you live as long as you want. May you never live again.
You're here. Thanks, Brad. Woo! And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the floor and the microphone over to our